he gotta play this tough role. You know what I mean?
I heard you say that. He said you're playing tough up there.
Yeah, that's all he's doing. He's just playing tough.
Terry, I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times.
Roach is saying that it doesn't matter how much money a man has, he can still be jealous. Like, why Floyd would be jealous of Gervonta Davis?
At the press conference, Gervonta Davis erupted when Floyd Mayweather appeared to support Lamont Roach. Davis accused Floyd of pulling stunts like this even when they were under the same promotional banner. He expressed deep frustration, saying Mayweather had a long-standing pattern of showing up for others while undermining him. According to Davis, this incident was just another example of the underlying tension that had existed between them for years.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. I gotta focus on what I'm focusing on. He already did what he had to do.
Floyd Mayweather once scheduled an exhibition event to coincide with the Gervonta Davis press conference, seemingly to steal the spotlight. Davis responded by accusing Mayweather of jealousy and prioritizing his own fame over supporting him. The move reignited long-standing tensions, with Davis feeling overshadowed at a key career moment. Many saw the clash as another chapter in their strained relationship, highlighting lingering rivalry dynamics in the boxing world.
Gervonta said, I'm not signed to a single soul. So it's tech now, free agent, of course, he's still signed with Mayweather Promotions.
Well, this is the Mayweather and Davis press conference. So I'm here to talk about Dubai. I'm here to talk about entertaining the people, having fun, and I'm not here to talk disrespectful or bad about any fighter. They say America is the land of the free. So we live, we love, and we keep striving each and every day. That's what life is about.
At one point, when Gervonta Davis was set to fight Frank Martin, Floyd Mayweather backed Martin, even training him and allegedly leaking Davis's techniques, putting Gervonta in a lose-lose situation. Frank Martin later credited intense sessions with Floyd for boosting his confidence and preparing him for elite competition. Mayweather's mentorship painted him as a supportive figure, but only when it aligned with his own agenda, further complicating his dynamic with Davis.
You're talking about doing the pad work with Floyd, and he said you got the speed and the power to be a world champ. What did that do for your confidence? You can hear that from anybody, but Floyd is Floyd.
It was just motivation, because at that time too, man, I ain't had an IQ that I got now. So at that point, I was just really going off natural athleticism. So for him to tell me at that time, getting deeper in my bag, trying to understand the game.
It's not like basketball where you got to depend on people. It's not like football. Like, the work that you put in reflects directly with your results. People don't even know the amount of hours that y'all put into this.
We ain't got no backup. We got a bad day, whatever. We ain't got nobody to come through for us. It's all on you.
Davis voiced frustration with Mayweather's inability to fully support others' success, viewing it as a reflection of Floyd's ego. He believes this mindset led to Mayweather's reluctance to endorse a rematch with Lamont Roach. According to Davis, Floyd prioritized preserving his own legacy over advancing Davis's career. This, he claimed, revealed a deeper misalignment of interests within what was once a close-knit promotional team.
So I don't want Tank to necessarily leave Mayweather. I think he's in this position because of everything that Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe have done for him. So I do want him to do what he is saying. Take control of your career. Say that you want Shakur and actually fight Shakur. Say that you want Devin and actually fight Devin. Fight these guys. Don't keep making new names. Like, you gave Barrios a chance. You gave Isaac a chance. Like, Gamboa. Like, those aren't the fights that we want.
During sparring sessions with Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis claimed Floyd Mayweather would frequently interrupt whenever Davis began to take control. These stoppages often came just as he was gaining the upper hand, leading Davis to suspect that Floyd was favoring Haney. The repeated interventions frustrated Davis, who felt robbed of valuable learning opportunities. He believed these moments confirmed that Mayweather's loyalty lay more with other fighters than with fostering his own growth as a protege.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. I gotta focus on what I'm focusing on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what what he did in the sport, ain't gonna lie, I be the same way. You know what I mean? So I don't fall him for like stand to his side and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. Man, no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting, I be mad. I just be talking.
Sources close to the situation confirm long-standing tension between Davis and Mayweather, marked by disputes over opponent selection and training methods. Mayweather often questioned Davis's decisions, even when stakes were high. Despite this, Davis's disciplined preparation and sharp focus ahead of his upcoming fight have impressed many, including Floyd himself. Davis seems fully aware of the moment's importance, knowing that another misstep could seriously damage his reputation and future in the sport.
So the Tank Davis vs. Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog. He was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round, but as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. So Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin round 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think
public anticipation for a Davis versus Roach rematch is an all-time high. Analysts highlight unresolved issues from their first bout: controversial stoppages, questionable judging, and tactical ambiguity, making a decisive follow-up crucial. Las Vegas has emerged as the likely venue, offering a global spotlight and high-stakes environment. For Davis, it's a shot at redemption. For Roach, it's a chance to validate his rise as a legitimate world-class contender.
Lamont Roach throwing his hands fast as hell. He's in the gym preparing. I think the rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. But as far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't. Because I think Tank is coming for blood. He's not going to pull his punches at all. I don't think he really did the first time. But I'm not sure how well he prepared or how mentally focused he was. I think you're going to get the very best Tank in a rematch. And you may just get an even better Lamont Roach. Since Lamont Roach don't have to speculate if he's good enough. He fought Tank. He has more confidence now than he did before. And he felt that he was robbed. So he's going to be on one. I think the rematch is going to be far more exciting.
Davis's departure from Mayweather Promotions sparked controversy as private disagreements over his career path became public. While Mayweather favored a carefully managed development plan, Davis wanted control over his own fights. This clash highlighted the deeper struggle between loyalty and independence. By choosing autonomy, Davis embraced both opportunity and risk, exposing the delicate balance between mentorship and management in elite boxing.
Down to a single soul. So is Tank now a free agent, or is he still signed with Mayweather Promotions?
Well, this is the Mayweather Deji press conference. So I'm here to talk about Dubai. I'm here to talk about entertaining the people, having fun, and I'm not here to talk disrespectful or bad about any fighter. They say America is the land of the free. So we live, we love, and we keep striving each and every day. That's what life is about.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's father, spoke candidly about the aftermath of the Davis-Roach fight. While surprised by the decision, he denied it was a robbery and maintained respect for Davis. However, he acknowledged that Roach's performance may have cracked Davis's aura of invincibility. His comments reflect a broader shift. one where even longtime supporters recognize the changing balance of power in today's boxing landscape.
Jeff Mayweather here, the Mayweather Boxing Club. How are you doing, sir?
Okay.
You don't look okay. All right, well, we got this potential rematch everybody wants to see, Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. First of all, you surprised that everybody's wanting to see a rematch between these two. No one expected it to be a close fight in the first place.
That much is true. And me, myself, I mean, I'm a big Tank fan. And I was shocked. I was shocked at the outcome of the fight.
Who did you have winning the fight?
I Roach winning.
Do you consider robbery, or do you lean Roach and are cool with the draw?
I wouldn't say it was a robbery. I mean, the fight was close. But if I was a judge, I would have gave it to the fight.
Talking about this rematch, what do you? I mean, so the one thing Tank always had for him, everyone, he had that kind of almost like Mike Tyson-esque, right? The air of invincibility, the knockout power. People were scared of him, that kind of thing. Do you think what Roach did to him, moving up in weight, and not being a big puncher himself, but able to withstand Tank, that kind of his air of invincibility has maybe been slightly diminished?
I wouldn't say it's being diminished, but I do think that more people, more fighters that probably were afraid of him are not going to be afraid.
And do you think that's almost something that could play in Tank's hand, right? Maybe he had an off day. Everybody has an off day, and take him.
Everybody can have off night, but I think the one thing that is the most important thing that nobody's talking about is the fact that they did fight each other when they were young growing up.
Roach's camp has criticized referee Steve Willis for crucial decisions in the first fight, claiming he failed to recognize key moments in Roach's favor. They argue that the bout's outcome was shaped as much by officiating lapses as by in-ring performance. This perspective casts doubt on the legitimacy of the result and adds momentum to growing calls for a definitive rematch to settle lingering questions and restore competitive clarity.
Obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then, right after I hit him with the jab, you could see him wipe his other eye. So it's like, it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with, and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say, it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you could see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So...
You say you don't think he willing though.
Whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye. Spit fuck around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on. Ref. Can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right. No. Pops is a no.
Hell no.
Wait, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben out of that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though. Me, him going to the corner to get assistance, like, who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like, he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. That's a disqualification. You turn your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. The fight's off.
Top lightweight Shakur Stevenson praised Roach's execution, noting his first-hand experience sparring with him. Stevenson highlighted Roach's defensive skill and ring IQ, predicting he would blend speed with discipline to limit Davis's offensive chances. His endorsement challenges a notion of a one-sided fight, framing the matchup as a stylistic chess match, where Roach's adaptability could potentially outmaneuver Gervonta, Tank Davis's raw power and aggression.
Both saying, like, that's something that y'all would do.
You sparred Lamont before, right?
For sure, yeah. Actually, he was the one who got me ready for Oscar Valdez.
Oh, Lamont Roach did?
Yeah, Lamont Roach was the guy who really got me ready for that fight.
What was the work like?
It was good work. It was good work. You know, honestly, that was one of the reasons why I bet tonight. Because I knew what I was in the ring with. Like, I knew that he wasn't no pushover, he wasn't no slouch. And when I seen that, I said, okay, when he fight Tank, I know that it's going to be the fight that I assumed it to be honest.
Hold on, because you was saying that, I ain't gonna lie, you was on Twitter been saying, like, you feel like, I don't know, you didn't say Lamont was gonna win, but you just kept making it like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what you were saying, but you kept alluding to Lamont was gonna do something. So, like, you saying you seen this, the way the fight played out based on how your sparring session went?
I'm not gonna say how the sparring session went just because of the fact that I'm a different fighter than what Tank is.
Yeah.
And it's like sparring and fighting two different things. But I knew what I was up against when I was sparring. Like, I knew the skill level. And I also, like, I watch boxing, so I'll go back and watch. And these guys go back and watch, and they looking like, okay, well, he was in front of this guy, so it was this, but styles make fights. And I know that Tank is shorter. He's fast, but Lamont got good defense. I just knew exactly how that fight was gonna go. I told everybody that Lamont was gonna be the one pushing forward. Tank was gonna be the boxer, and it literally looked exactly how I thought it was gonna look.
How did you see the actual fight? Like, let's break it down. 'Cause you was ringside. You sat. I saw you on Twitter. They showed the videos of you ringside. What did you see in the fight?
Shit, I kind of seen Lamont winning. I really felt like he was in control of the fight.
Former world champion Gary Russell Jr. offered a more measured perspective, noting that while Roach matched Davis punch for punch, he fell short of clearly convincing the judges. In Russell's view, a true victory demands control in every round, something Roach narrowly missed. His critique underscores that the rematch must produce a decisive outcome, not another closely contested battle.
Interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all that. You know, he says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing. And the fight is going to be similar, but hey, the fight at the same time is going to be very different. Now, I just happen to have a very good friend named Phoenix the Assassin who breaks down fights for me. He's a trainer, got a world-class eye for fights. And what he speculated should be the difference between the first fight and the second fight for Gervonta is that Gervonta is going to need to spend a lot more time fighting on the outside and scoring points for a longer period of time on the outside, and then making sure that, and basically forcing Lamont Roach to try to initiate something with slower hands, score his points, and get out. And he said the reason that he believes that Lamont Roach would be able to do.
In preparation for the rematch, Davis has embraced a rigorous training regimen designed to correct past mistakes and close every gap. Each punch, defensive drill, and conditioning session is part of a focused plan to reassert his dominance. His mindset is clear. Winning is enough. He wants to make a definitive statement. A narrow victory won't satisfy him this time. Davis is aiming for a knockout-level performance that removes all doubt about his standing at the top of the division.
I think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident. Because you will go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he will go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he hits you on that button, them lights going off. I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that let's go fold. You going against Gervonta Tank Davis, and I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much. You was overconfident. And you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like, I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont. This from the same camp. We from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up. Because you gotta think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like gotta step back from the situation. That's why I think he's being hushed right now. Because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning. Like when he was with Floyd, like I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got like, you know, a little bit more in the boxing, you know, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you're gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and fight breakdowns.